Hello, good afternoon and welcome to Baina Midday News, coming to you live from Benab House, Atomic Junction, Medina. I'm Khadija Tukubra Kailani. Coming up this afternoon, ghost names in Northern Region paid 2.8 million Ghana cedis in salary, says the Office of the Special Prosecutor. Also, government not recruiting MPP foot soldiers into security service. This is also by Henry Korte. And later in sports, former Ghana coach CK Akono steps in advisory role for CAF. Remember, this news is also live on Facebook and YouTube at Baina TV. Stay with us for details of the stories. Thank you for staying with us. Now to our first story. The Ministry of Works and Housing has categorically affirmed that the Greater Accra Resilience and Integrated Development Project has responsibly managed the $200 million allocated for its operations. This statement comes in the wake of accusation from the Minority Caucus suggesting mismanagement of the project funds.
In a statement issued on Monday, the ministry disclosed that as of March 2024, over $127 million had been utilized, with $65 million allocated to COVID-19 related expenses under the Contingent Emergency Response Component, a component agreed upon with the World Bank and included in the project appraisal document. According to the ministry, $34.33 million of the amount drawn down was used for GARID activities, and the remaining $27.97 million represented the bank balances as of the reporting period, adding that the detailed expenditure breakdown was presented to Parliament. The ministry emphasized that the utilization of the project funds has always been in accordance with the project financing agreement, project appraisal document, and project implementation manual, and has always been preceded by the approval of annual work plans. These approvals, the statement says, are obtained from the Project Steering Committee and subsequently from the World Bank tax team, with the project consistently adhering to the guidelines in the financing agreement between the World Bank and the Government of Ghana. The ministry clarified that since the inception of GARID project in 2019, the project has been subjected to annual financial and procurement audits by the Ghana Audit Service, as agreed between the Government of Ghana and the World Bank and stipulated in the financing agreement.
Meanwhile, a new report has uncovered nearly 3 million cedis in salaries earned by individuals who were deceased, retired, no longer in their positions, also known as ghost names in the Northern Region. This was revealed by the Office of the Special Prosecutor and the Controller and Accountant General's Department following a joint investigation into the government's payroll administration focusing on employees in the northern region.
The investigation revealed a number of unauthorized and inactive validators handling the payroll system for educational institutions under the Ghana Education Service and the Tamale Teaching Hospital. In a May 20 press release, the OSP pointed to a primary school in Kumbungu district of the Ghana Education Service, which was found to be entirely fictitious. According to the OSP, a primary school in the Kumbungu district of the Ghana Education Service, which did not exist at all, was represented as staffed and the purported staff being validated monthly and being paid salaries. Additionally, some 2.8 million cedis was discovered as unearned monthly salaries paid to ghost names. The OSP added that these discoveries and subsequent blocking of these payments, plus the removal of corresponding individuals from the government payroll, saved the Republic over 34,249,737 for the 2024 financial year. Meanwhile, the president of the Ghana National Association of Teachers, NAT, has criticized the approach taken in the conduct of the recent report alleging ghost names. According to Reverend Isaac Owusu, the investigation was conducted without the knowledge of the Education Directorate nor the Education Ministry. The OSP is liaising with the Controller and Accountant General's Department to conduct further investigations into educational institutions under the Ghana Education Service in the Northern Region and the Tamale Teaching Hospital. These investigations, according to the OSP, aim to prosecute those responsible for promoting the non-existent schools and for validating the payroll entries of deceased, untraceable, retired, or otherwise inactive individuals.
And in other stories, the Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice has officially recognized the petition submitted by Member of Parliament for North Tongue Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa concerning the sale of 6 hotels by the Social Security and National Insurance Trust to the Agriculture Minister, Dr. Brian Acheampong. SHRAJ has assured Ablakwa that it will thoroughly review his petition and provide a response in due course.
According to SHRAJ, the acknowledgement signifies the commencement of the investigative process into the allegations raised by Mr. Ablakwa regarding the sale of the hotels. This development follows a formal petition lodged by North Tongue MP Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa with the SHRAJ to investigate the processes surrounding the sales of 6 hotels. The hotels mentioned in the petition include Labadi Beach Hotel, La Palm Royal Beach Resort, Elmina Beach Resort, Ridge Royal Hotel, Busia Beach Resort, and the Trust Lodge Hotel. However, SNIT clarified that the bids were successful for only 4 hotels and not the entire 6 as claimed by the MP. Mr. Ablakwa's petition calls for an investigation into various allegations, including conflict of interest, abuse of power, lack of due process, procurement breaches, cronyism, and graft. In his petition, Mr. Ablakwa highlights what he views as violations of constitutional provisions, specifically citing Article 78 Clause 3 and 98 Clause 2 of the 1992 Constitution. He contends that these actions represent significant breaches of legal and ethical standards. Additionally, in a Facebook post on Friday, May 17th, Mr. Ablakwa argued that Brian Acheampong's alleged involvement in the hotel sale without the permission of the Speaker of Parliament constitutes a breach of parliamentary protocol regarding holding offices of profit. This, according to Mr. Ablakwa, is a serious violation that requires thorough investigation and accountability. However, according to SNIT, the strategy to partner with an investor to raise capital to invest in their hotels and also assist in their management started as far back as 2018 through international competitive tendering processes as prescribed by the Public Procurement Act.
And now in politics, the Minister for Interior, Henry Quartey, has firmly refuted claims that the government is illegally enlisting members of the New Patriotic Party into the security service. The minority in Parliament has accused the government of illegal recruiting NPP members into the security service ahead of the 2024 general elections. The caucus claims that every New Patriotic member candidate has been allocated 30 slots for enlistment into the various security service, a move they believe is designed to influence the December polls.
Dr. Kazel Atuforsen, the minority leader, expressed these concerns during a press conference, warning that any unauthorized actions by these recruits, dubbed as NPP thugs in uniform, will be met with strong opposition from the National Democratic Congress supporters.
We wish to remind His Excellency the President, President Akufo-Addo, and the Vice President, Alhaji Bawumia, that they will not have their way this time round, regardless of whatever maneuverings that they will roll out in the 2024 elections. We will resist these shenanigans with all our might and all our strength. Our members, our supporters and sympathizers will not just defend themselves against unlawful attacks by the NPP thugs in uniform. We shall hold these NPP hoodlums personally responsible for their unlawful violation of the laws of Ghana and the legitimate rights of our people.
He said it is unacceptable for the government to continue to put cheap partisan considerations ahead of the overall peace, security and stability of the country in the run-up to the 2024 elections.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is unacceptable that the government continues to put cheap partisan considerations ahead of the overall peace, security and stability of our country in the run-up to the 2024 elections.
But Mr. Quartey labeled the minority's claim as regrettable, emphasizing that the government is not involved in such activities. He further highlighted that recruitment has not yet begun, and when it does, it will not be conducted covertly. He explained that the government's intention is to clear the backlog of recruits from previous years, which is why there has been no advertisement. However, he mentioned that the agencies will soon disclose the eligibility criteria for the recruits.
And now on the international front, the U.S. and Niger have agreed that American troops will leave the country by 15 September. They announced in a joint statement on Sunday. They said the two countries had reached a disengagement agreement to effect the withdrawal of the U.S. force, which has already begun. The U.S. has relied on Niger as its primary base for monitoring regional jihadist activities.
The military junta, which seized power last year, has already ordered French troops to leave while moving closer to Russia. The statement commended joint sacrifices of Nigerian and U.S. forces in the fight against terrorism, adding that the withdrawal would not affect the continuation of U.S.-Niger relations. The deal was reached after marathon talks between the two countries in Niamey. In March, Niger announced the end of its military agreement with the U.S. Military spokesperson Colonel Amadou Adramani accused the U.S. of raising objections about the allies that Niger had chosen. Colonel Adramani condemned the U.S. for its condescending attitude and threats of appraisals. Tensions sparked between the U.S. and Niger after elected President Mohamed Bazoum was overthrown last year. Niger is in Africa's Sahel region, considered the new global epicenter of the Islamic State group. American forces have used two military bases in Niger to monitor Islamist militant groups in the Sahel. The U.S. built a $100 million military base 6 years ago in the central city of Agadez, 750 kilometers northeast of Niamey. It has played a key role in the U.S. strategy to combat jihadists in West Africa. The U.S. has more than 1,000 troops stationed at the base. It is the second Western power to withdraw from Niger. Last year, Niger expelled former colonial power France's troops, who had also been deployed to fight jihadists. As Niger has distanced itself from the West, it has drawn closer to Russia.
Now let's do some sports stories. Former Ghana coach Charles Kwabla Akono has started working as a consultant for the Confederation of African Football. Details regarding the scope of his appointments remain private. However, it's speculated that Akono would provide professional guidance during a meeting attended by football representatives from across the continent.
Held in Tanzania, the summit aims to address development in juvenile football. Before his current role, Akono coached Ghana between January 2020 and September 2021. Since then, he has not held any major positions until being named as CAF's consultant. Throughout his illustrious career, Akono has gained valuable experience managing some of Ghana's premier football institutions, including House of Oak and Asante Kotoko. He achieved remarkable results at Kotoko, winning the Normalization Committee Special Competition and advancing to the CAF Confederation Cups group phase. Additionally, Akono briefly acted as the technical director for Division 1 side Accra Athletic FC. More information about Akono's involvement with CAF should emerge soon, particularly considering the significance of the ongoing meeting in Tanzania.
And this is how we bring the midday news to an end. I'm Khadija Kubra Keilani. Thank you for watching.